Warriors fans, we know what happened this offseason. We retooled versus getting a splashy free agent signing. We tried, failed. So we got Melton, Hield, and Anderson to make a more depth type of lineup, a better second unit. Maybe they start time and time again. However, we're hearing, this is topic one, there's a report out that one of them is a bad free agent signing. It will fizzle out when the year is over, by the end of the year. Who is it? We're going to break it down and say why this is wrong. Secondly, Warriors Digest. We focus on now and the future. But for a moment, that's why I got my hat on. We'll look at the past. These NBA players, these basketball players want to play in the NBA. Sometimes they get here for a little bit or a long bit, and then they can go play outside the U.S. and be rock stars. So we're going to profile a couple of the players who used to be on the Warriors and what they're doing outside the NBA, what teams they're at, what country they're in. Very engaging to show you the scope of Warriors fandom around the world. And speaking about Warriors fandom, coming up, we have a mailbag episode. So again, please email randysilvertv@gmail.com a 45-second or less video with a question or comment. Questions around anything in this video, anything in Warriors land, in comments on stuff I say, on stuff that you're thinking. I will reply. I will answer the questions. I'll make a video out of it. In addition, we'll let the people in the comments section comment on the stuff. Need a video so that way I can put you on the profile, put you right here so people can see and hear you. Again, please make it appropriate for getting live in front of people, things of that nature. I will screen everything first to be safe. But email randysilvertv@gmail.com. We'll have a mailbag episode coming soon. If this works, we'll do more of it more often, especially the regular season, responding how the team does in games, things of that nature. If this fails, we tried, swung, missed. But what is not missed is you using NordVPN, our newest sponsor of the Warriors Digest. Let's have a quick commercial with them, and then we'll take you to our video. Hey, y'all. Let me ask you this question. How many of you use the internet? Show of hands? Duh, of course, everybody. That's how you're watching Warriors Digest. Well, for today's sponsor of the video, NordVPN, they can protect you on your internet when you're watching Warriors Digest or any show. From phishing attacks, no one takes your personal information. From malware that can destroy your computer, eat it up. And you can do it all through Warriors Digest. Thanks to NordVPN being our sponsor, use the code you see right here, nordvpn.com/warriors, nordvpn.com/warriors, and you can get your discount code to check them out. They're a VPN that allows you to surf the web anytime, any place, anywhere. From your home, from the coffee shop, your friend's house, wherever it may be. I used to work in cybersecurity, so I know how important it is to protect your information on your computer, on your emails in the web, and NordVPN will help you. NordVPN.com/warriors. Check them out, and thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring our videos. Let's get into today's episode. New Warriors forward earns unwanted label as likely free agent fizzle. Don't like that. You haven't even played with us yet, and you're saying this person's going to fizzle out? In a sign and trade that sent Thompson to Dallas, appreciate your service right there. So you know where he's at. The Warriors brought back veterans Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson on what appears to be team-friendly, multi-year contracts. Hield from the 76ers, Anderson from the Timberwolves. The addition of Anderson has been applauded by many as someone whose versatile skill set fits seamlessly into the Golden State system. Can play 3 or 4. That's not a total consensus opinion, though, with The Athletic's Kelly Iko critical of the signing during a recent response to key offseason questions. So what did Iko say? He views the 30-year-old as the most likely free agent to fizzle or be unsuccessful with their new team, stating that, and quote, I don't think Kyle Anderson is the type of player you bring in if you're trying to extract the maximum from the latter stages of Steph Curry's career. So what he's saying is, this isn't going to help you win, get back to the finals, win a 5th championship. Basically what he's saying there. He outlined the spacing issues are a genuine concern after a season in which Anderson shot 23% from three-point range with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yet, Eco also refers to the 10-year veteran as some version of a Draymond Green light, given his point forward skills and versatile defense. So yes, not the best three-point shooter, but he can do a lot for Draymond. And if he's going to play the three behind Kuminga, you also have Moody there. So he's really more of a backup to the backup there. He's going to help Draymond at the four. Draymond obviously is like 6'8". Anderson's 6'9". I think I have something where I have it. 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, he's 6'9", 30 years old. Last season, he scored 6 points a game, a bit over 6, with 3.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists. For a reserve player, solid stats. What we don't need him to do, we don't need him to be the biggest scorer, but he needs to be able to help us be that glue guy on the court, make those winning plays, get on the floor, be able to guard multiple players, chip in points. He will be a starter in some games if we're down a couple injuries, at back-to-back if someone needs to sit. Shot 46% from the field, not terrible, pretty good. We saw in the playoffs, he wasn't shooting well, kind of the lights got to him there, but 30% from three, that does have to improve. That needs to improve. In this offense, you have to be able to shoot three. We saw Draymond shot 39% from three last season, the best he's ever done. It was crazy. He needs to get to that level. He needs to be able to show that he's a threat from behind the arc. If he can show he's a threat from behind the arc, then they'll help open up the second team. I think Pajemski and Melton will be running the second team. If he can help with some of those pick and pops, or as a set of point forward, where then he is the guy controlling, coming off of the pick with the ball, and he can just stop and pop from behind the three. Or in that case, if they think he's a threat from the three, then he can dive to the basket with the ball and get an easy layup or a contested layup. Or he can dive and then kick it out to the corner where Moody may be sitting there, where Hield may be sitting there. So he needs to be able to show that he can shoot the three more. I completely agree with that. Again, we just mentioned Green. Despite his deteriorating shooting over the past 6 or 7 seasons, aside from last season where he's 39%, he's effective. And he's a great ability for us on offense as a point forward, coming down with the ball, helping with the pick and pop with Steph. And so if Anderson can be something like that, that's great. And what does Draymond love to do? He loves to be a vocal leader, maybe to a fault, very much to a fault sometimes. But we see players come to Golden State, and they play better when they're on our reserve team because they don't have as much pressure when they're on other teams. Not as much maybe the past couple seasons, but when you had Steph, Dre, and Clay at their prime, you got some veterans that come in who were able to be successful. The Warriors team, Andre Iguodala is a name that comes to mind. You had who's the guy from USC? Swaggy P, Nick Young. There we go. Was able to come here. He was supposed to be a cast-off. You had JaVale McGee, was supposed to be a cast-off and came over and did really well. Revitalized his career with the Warriors. So you can do it with the Warriors. You can improve yourself here in this system. Again, with the coaching staff that we have with Steve Kerr in the charge on defense. Now you got we brought the 2 coaches in, Jerry Stackhouse for defense and also just player management, Terry Stouts on the offensive side. So we got a good group around here to be able to lift them up. That's why I don't think that Anderson's going to be fizzled out. Draymond, 34 years old, will probably play 30 minutes a game. That means Anderson can step into that power forward role for 18 minutes and play a high IQ, high energy 18 minutes. Draymond will start the game. We'll get his break probably close to the end of the first. And then Anderson comes in, plays the end of the first, beginning of the second. And then Draymond comes in for the rest of the second, starts the third. Then again, between the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, Anderson can come in. But also, he's at the end of the game. If we need defensive versatility, you need shooting, Hield may be in that game. You need defense, Anderson may be in the game at that point. Maybe if they go small ball, you put Draymond 5, Anderson 4, Kuminga 3, Brandon 2, Steph 1, maybe Moody 3, Kuminga 2, Steph 1, something like that. You could try to get Anderson and Draymond together, but 6'8" and 6'9" together, it's small ball. So if they got a big guy, Joel Embiid, Wemby, Chet, you may be out of luck there. Definitely not against Nikola up in Denver. So the question is, can Anderson get back to being a 41% shooter that he was from 3, or just 36% he was a couple of years before that? So he needs to raise it 6 to 10%. If he can do that, this is a great success. He won't fizzle out. I think he's smart. He knows what to do. It's something that the Warriors are going to trust him in this offense. He's going to pick it up quick. So I expect him to get high minutes. I don't expect him to fizzle out. He's going to work on his shooting. He knows he needs it in this offense. So I don't agree with that. He's going to fizzle out. I think he will do a great job. Again, look at these stats. That field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, if we can get that to above 50% and 35 to 40%, we're going to be looking really good. And what he can do in switching on players, hustle, layups, point forward, everything in between. So again, let me know your thoughts. Put the comments below. But also, mailbag episode, send me a video comment, and I'll break it down on there, and we'll let you be in front of Warriors Digest fans. So then lastly, the second part of today's video, a quartet of former Golden State Warriors have found new homes overseas after being free agents this offseason. So again, look to now in the future, but the NBA is more than that. Players are with us. They leave to go to a different team. Maybe they retire. Maybe they go overseas. So I'm going to showcase some of these players and let you know where former Warriors are at. The first person is Damian Jones. He was with us. Didn't really do much with us. Was a backup center behind Looney, but wasn't playing much. He was a former first-round pick, so we valued him highly. Didn't go well. He's now playing with the Zhejiang Golden Bulls in China. According to Alberto De Roa of Hoops Hype, Jones played 49 games over 3 seasons with us in Golden State, so not a lot of games played. He was a champion with us in 2017, 2018. Let's go. He played a couple other NBA teams, but now he's over in China. And it's just amazing. Again, out there, he's probably one of the top players in the league, and he's highly coveted. So you can go out there, he can get Chinese sponsorships. Clay has a sponsor from China, and look how much it is. These NBA players, Nick Van Exel went over to China. No, maybe not. I'm thinking about Stephen Marbury went over to China. So, and they say they have a great time. It's like these European players, South American players come into play in the U.S., which is great. Now the question is, like American players going to go play in Europe for soccer. It'd be a cool experience. Y'all recognize this guy, DeMarcus Cousins, is now overseas with the Zambogata Valientes in Philippines. He's also on the same team as Dwight Howard. What a 1-2. Every game there is a sellout. It's like Messi coming to play in the U.S. I know it's extreme comparison to people in the end of their careers. We're all-stars, high-level players, all-pro players in their respective primes, and now they're playing in a different country and going out and having a great time. And he says he loves playing in the Philippines. He loves the food out there and loves the culture that they have. Eric Pascal, another player, a former all-rookie first team. We've had high hopes for him, and then it kind of tapered off, didn't go well. I hope that doesn't happen with Brandon Pajemski. He's heading to Italy to play for Pistoia Basket 2000. He hasn't played in the NBA since the 2021-22 season with the Jazz, and obviously the trade, all that goes with it. He played over 100 games for the Warriors, averaged 10 points. And lastly, Anthony Lamb, the most recent Warrior to now be playing overseas. He is coming off a torn Achilles, and he's now playing in New Zealand in the NBL last season, the New Zealand Breakers. He will now hope to make his return for the Aquila Basket Trento in Italy. So good for him. Italy, we see as a basketball country. New Zealand, we know, is a big basketball too. So again, not everyone can make the 15-man roster for the Warriors. Not everyone's a top Warrior year over year. And not everyone can make the NBA. And they have their cup of tea. They have their coffee with us. They have their lunch. They have a whole 3-course meal. And now they're out in the world playing in other countries, just having a great time, living their life, playing a game they played since they're really young, and wanted to make sure you're aware of that and what others are doing in the world. In addition, as an extra, Alfonso McKinney, you recognize the game, is playing with the Kobe Storks in Japan, while the NBA champion Ian Clark re-signed with Melbourne United late last month. So 2 other former Warriors out there. And if you have any thoughts around this, again, Mailbag episode is coming up. Please, randysilvertv@gmail.com. Go ahead and send me a 4 or 5 second video on question, comments on this, anything we talked about, or just sharing your thoughts. So let me know, do you think Kyle Anderson is going to be a good player for us or a bust? And do you have anything else you want to talk about? Randy Silver, out.